So ideally, what we have done in this process, that is usually to be able to make sure that the litter is fresh and the litter is available. So ideally with this particular litter is the fact that we want to bring in 5 days old chick, which are actually on this other side. They are not actually supposed to be there, but we had an issue whereby the litter was not available, so we have been forced to wait for an extra 1 week to be able to get at least 8 bags of litter. Now, if we could not be able to have this kind of litter, then the chances is our bird, they cannot be able to enjoy the fresh environment, which is free of ammonia, and which ideally it can be able to spur their growth. So ideally, this is usually the first process. And something else I need you to see is also the depth of the litter. So ideally, if we were to do this for a long time, but unfortunately this litter is only going to stay here for the next 7 to 14 days. Actually, I think let's just say it's going to be here for the next 15 days. Which ideally the depth is not as deep as it's supposed to be if this litter was going to stay for more than 30 days. And if you are doing other type of farming, possibly in layer farming, someone will tell you your litter depth should be even deeper enough because you are not going to be exchanging it for a very long time. But for broiler farming, you only need to say maybe a handful, which is possibly the size of my hand. And if it's deeper that way, then it's good. And obviously this is because every morning then you need to be turning your litter every now and then. Because note, if you don't turn your litter every morning, you risk it forming a cake. And this cake is what actually causes ammonia. I guess now you know why you need at least bigger and better layers of fresh litter as you are going to bring in your chicks, or if you are going to manage. Now, let's get to see the chicks as we are going to move them in this particular new coop, because again, I don't want them to be in that side. We have bigger birds, which again, this brings the risk of maybe diseases. And hey, we are doing this because we don't have enough space. And by the way, believe it or not, we actually are producing, I think we have around 1,000 birds at the moment. And it's very risky if they are in different stages. Now, let's go. All right, now on the background, so these are the birds which are actually here. So they are ideally 5 days old birds, and we have these birds on this other end. They are 21 days old. So what I usually like to do is I usually don't like them sharing the same space as they are, but as I said, we've had a crisis for the last 7 days whereby we couldn't be able to get the litter we need. But now this bird, they don't have enough space. Now it means they should possibly be extending this space from this further end there up to here, which now means these little birds will be affected. And what we usually do is, maybe you can be able to just look around. we usually have this kind of a wall which separate the brooding area from the mature chicken, and now that's where we have been able to take the litter which you've just seen, and ideally they're supposed to spend at least 18 days on that other end. By the moment they are almost 20 days, these other birds on this further end, they are actually maturing. Now you understand the kind of production system we have here at Afrifama. And I just want you to look on something. Look on how clean this particular flock is. If you are to compare this with the last one, you'll actually be surprised. And this is because we tend to ensure that the kind of the litter we have here at Afrifama coop is standard, is actually deep, is fresh, and this is why you see our birds from day 18, day 21, day 24, we are able to smash the record weight gain unlike other farms, and the secret is just on litter management. So let's get to see some of these birds, how they are doing, and of course how clean the litter is. So ideally, this is the brooding coop, as you can be able to see, and it holds more than 500 chicks, and they are 5 days old. So ideally, we are trying to move them from, and I think the box is not going to work. We want to move them from this side to that other side. Actually, I have an idea. So this is the Great Migration, and hold your horses. It's not the Great Migration of wild beasts like that in the Mara in Tanzania, which actually reminds me, I think I need to go for vacation possibly next year. I mean, as an entrepreneur, sometimes you need to take a break, but this is the Great Migration of Afrifama chick from one coop to another coop. And I digress. Before we forget what we are talking about, it's about litter management. So we're actually migrating these birds from this spot. They've been here for 5 days, but we said it poses a threat, poses a danger for them since they are near the 21 days old birds. So ideally we are taking them on this other side of the wall, and hopefully it can be able to fuel their growth, can be able to fuel quicker and better growth, which ideally we need to hit the market weight by 28 days. So let's get to continue migrating the birds, and you're going to see how they have actually adapted in their new home on that further end. Let's see how this one goes. So ideally now you have seen that the birds on both ends in different stages of the growth, whether they are 5 days old, they are well catered in terms of their litter management. Even for the 21 days old, you've also seen they are well catered. And this is the thing. Most people usually ask me, how can you possibly reduce the mortality rate among your birds? And one of the key things is actually on litter management. If your bird stays in one of the most cleanest place, in one of the most comfortable place, the result can be able to tell themselves, and this you'll be able to get high growth in your birds. There'll be the uniform growth rate, and ideally I'm inside the coop, and you cannot even tell you're in a chicken coop because, man, there is even no ammonia. It's fresh, it's clean, and the birds, man, they are actually like literally praying around the coop. They are comfortable, and this is, if the chickens are happy, then even your financial, that's the books, they will be happy as well. Now that is one of the essence on why the litter management is essential in broiler farming. Don't disregard it. So if you are thinking of getting into the broiler farming, this is the best, and this is what is going to determine if you're going to become a successful poultry farmer or you are going to fail into that. Now the birds they are calling, you'll be able to see what they are doing here. It's very funny. They are playing. So what we are going now to do is to ensure that the brooding geckos are in, the waters are in, because we have been transferring it from this further end to this end. And at the end of the day, this is the journey, and this is what makes it interesting being a farmer and being involved in the farming. Well, it's been a long vlog, but here we are. So we have come to the end of today's vlog on litter management in broiler farming. But before you go, there is an amazing vlog for you right here. Click it, watch it, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, until next time, this is Afrifama. Bye bye.